Okay, can we talk about surviving the greater good concept without totally losing yourself? Have you ever noticed how the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics always seem to mean you lose, everybody else wins? Like, why is it always me scrubbing the toilets for humanity while everyone else chills on the beach? Let's untangle this mess. Spoiler, you can keep the concept of the greater good, but we're tossing the guilt trips and the toilet toothbrushes out the window. 1. What is this greater good thing anyway? I mean, at its core, the idea of a greater good isn't bad. It's basically what benefits the most people. Logical, right? Except in Scientology, it wasn't about logic. It was about leverage. Here's how it played out. Self doesn't matter. Family, meh. Group, Sea Org, Scientology, totally sacred, do not question. Infinity. What even is that? And suddenly your whole life revolved around sacrificing your needs for the group or mankind. What they didn't tell you, the greater good shouldn't delete you. If it does, that's not a greater good. It's just bad math. 2. Why the 8 dynamics make no sense. Hubbard's 8 dynamics sound fancy, but let's break it down. Self, family, group, mankind, animals and plants, universe. Spiritual self, infinity. Here's the problem. It creates a hierarchy that makes you and your family seem less important than abstract ideas like mankind or infinity. It's also ridiculously arbitrary. Why are animals shoved into a separate category? And why does infinity get its own spot like it's a VIP? Let's be real. No one's sitting around thinking, do I feed my kids or save infinity? You're just trying to get through your day without losing your mind. Picture this. You're at a birthday party. Someone hands you a cake and says, cut this cake for the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics. Self, you take a slice. Family, a couple more slices for your kids. Group, the rest for the party. Infinity, what does infinity want? The whole cake? A separate cake made of cosmic stardust? It's nonsense. No one divides life like this. You just cut the cake based on who's hungry, and that's okay. Guess what? You get to reframe the greater good now. Here's the truth. A greater good can exist without sacrificing yourself. The trick is redefining it in a way that feels fair and human. Try this reframing exercise. Start with you. The greater good has to include your well-being, or it's not sustainable. Think about balance. What benefits everyone without burning you out? Ditch the guilt. If someone's version of the greater good makes you feel like crap, it's not good, it's manipulation. Here's an exercise you can try. Let's rewrite the greater good together. Answer these questions. When has the greater good been used against you? How did it feel? What does a healthy greater good look like to you? How can you make sure your needs are part of the equation? Some example responses? Used against me. Giving up school for the group. Felt totally trapped and worthless. Healthy. Prioritizing myself while still helping my family when I can. Not at all selfish. Inclusion. Making time for my goals without guilt. Repeat 3 times. I am important, and that's okay. 4. Let's talk about saying no. You're allowed to say no to infinity, to mankind, to anyone who thinks your life belongs to them. Here's a script for practice. I'd love to help, but I need to take care of myself right now. No thanks, my well-being matters too. Mankind, please take a number. I'm busy. Practice saying no to ridiculous scenarios. Try these out loud. Nope, I won't spend my weekend saving infinity. I have laundry. Nah, I can't prioritize mankind over pizza night. Pizza is sacred. No way. The group doesn't need all my cake. I'm keeping a big slice for me. Feel silly? Good. Now try saying no to real-life guilt trips. It'll be easier. Number 5. The 8 dynamics are actually totally optional. You totally don't need Hubbard's 8 dynamics nonsense to live a balanced life. Most people naturally prioritize based on their values and relationships without arbitrary categories. Try this instead. Think about what matters to you. Maybe it's self, family, and your dog. That's okay. Rank your priorities your way. If infinity doesn't make the list, that's not actually your problem. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to redefine your greater good. Take one moment where you'd normally sacrifice yourself for the group and pause. Ask yourself, does this good include me? If it doesn't, say no and don't even feel bad about it. Remember, the greater good isn't about infinity, mankind, or some abstract group. It's about creating a life that works for you. Because if you're not okay, nothing else really works anyway, right? Now go forth and redefine that greater good. And if the group calls, let it go to voicemail.